Hello. We've kind of missed you folks out there for a while. This is Larry from Fighting for Common Ground, and we have
Casey.
And Ron.
And Ron. So it's the three of us today. So it's going to be a little bit more of an intimate time than previously. Matthew and John Pepe weren't available for this show because, you know, it's Memorial Day weekend and they have some family events. But in the meantime, there's a lot to talk about. You know, in fact, there's the upcoming elections. That's one of the things that's coming up in California as well as around the country. The other thing is that all the crap that's been going on, you know, with this so-called war in Iran, that I've got my opinions about why that is. It's not about nuclear, them having a nuclear weapon. They weren't close to having it before, and they weren't working towards it before. This is all about Trump trying to look good to the American people when he's doing such a miserable friggin' job. And he's got some people, you know, believing it, but now people are starting of his own are starting to fall away. They're starting to jump ship. I just read about Caroline Levitt. She evidently is jumping ship now. She's not in good favor with Trump. I predicted it many years ago when Trump was in his first term that he was going to cause all these Republicans to jump ship. Unfortunately, it didn't happen in my time frame, but it's happening now. You've got Mitch McConnell, who should have actually, he was the reason why Trump made it to this term. Mitch McConnell should have gone along with his, not just his impeachment, but a trial. But he didn't. He wouldn't go along with it. So now, you know, look what we got as a result of it. But in the meantime, you know, you got this war going on, and they keep, it's like I tell my kids, you know Trump is lying when he opens his mouth. Because every time he says something, it's all bullshit. It's total, unadulterated bullshit. Now, you might love him, but I got to tell you, how much is it going to take before you wake up and realize when somebody is lying to you? It reminds me of a housewife who doesn't want to believe her husband is cheating on her. And then when she finally finds out, and says something about it, he says, honey, who are you going to believe? Your lying eyes or me? And that's what's happened. Everybody continues to want to believe everything he says after lie after lie after lie. How much more is it going to take? This man came down that so-called golden escalator back in 2015, was it? 2000, yeah, but I think it was about when he first decided to run for office. And he turned around and started talking bad about Hispanics, Mexicans primarily, and how, oh, they're bringing the worst of them in. This guy is so full of shit, his eyes should be brown. Because, you know, what he didn't want to do is to get people to believe that he can really take care of them. He got them to believe that from a standpoint of fear. Because when he's made those comments, it was to put everybody in a mode of fear. Because people, and he knew it, people are motivated by their fears, not by their self-confidence, to be confident that something good is going to come about. So what did he do? He just kept playing on it and playing on it. And the worst part was that the Hispanic vote that he got. What would it take for those people to realize that he's a friggin' racist? He's a racist. He's a misogynist. All the things that he said and he's done. And then people say, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. That is bullshit. This, you know, who was it? Maya Angelou said, "Believe someone when they tell you the truth." And the truth is, every time he opens his mouth, he's going to tell you what he's going to do. This man, I mean, they should be able to talk, use all the things he said and use it in a court of law. He's not lying to anybody.
Well, did you see the hit that Iran, or is it Iran that put that hit on him?
Which hit?
Vote on it. It's like $52 million to take freaking Trump out.
Well, that was before.
No, they just said that this morning. This is
yesterday.
Yeah.
$68 million the parliament put out for Netanyahu. Is that it? Netanyahu, Trump, and somebody else.
It wouldn't be Putin because he supports him.
Yeah, I have to read the specifics on it, but
where'd that come from?
It's from the parliament.
They're going to vote
on it in Iran.
They're going to vote on it in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody goes, well, what about the other
for
ones?
Their
we can do a GoFundMe page for the rest of it. Somebody
for Pete Hegseth and.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look. The truth is, Trump he's stepped knee high in shit because all the things he has been doing has been to protect himself from prosecution, because he knows that if they catch up to him and they got the goods on him, he may very well go to prison. I believe that he will, because I've always said it. You don't commit as many crimes as he has committed and get away with it. You can get away with it for so long. It's catching up to him. And a lot of people that have been supporting him aren't going to put their name and their reputation on the line for a thief. And what I believe should happen, all the money and the grift that he and his family and any of the other people tied into his administration has made as a result of him being in office as president, they should all be having all that money stripped away from him and put it back into the Treasury and then hold them up on charges because they've broken the law. That's what should happen. And people should be calling for it. This is ridiculous.
It is.
Well, I believe the reason that this war started is because Israel asked him to.
Well, that's part of it,
because Israel has been trying, from an ex-CIA agent said that Israel has been trying to get every president since like Bush to invade Iran.
No, that's a known fact. I mean, that's not just the CIA. I think
Trump's just the dumbass that would do it.
I think there's a lot of people a lot of the ex-presidents would tell you that was true. I don't think that there's any question. And as a Jewish person myself, I'll tell you right now, I believe that was the case. I believe that Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that he should not just go to prison, but he should be held up on genocide, charges of genocide. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are down on Jewish people because they're lumping all the crap that he's done. They're lumping Jewish people into that. Mm. That would be like saying, well, all Christians are like Trump, when we know that they're not. Okay. And the point is that Netanyahu he's just like Trump. He's afraid of being held up on charges in his own country, that he's going to be taken to trial. And that's another good reason why he's committed all this stuff. So he can stand up in front of people and say, hey, look how great I am. Just like Trump. They're two birds of a feather. They knew each other before Trump even got into office. They knew each other because Netanyahu went to college. I believe it was one of the colleges on the East Coast in New York or in that area. And they've known each other since those days. It's not like they only knew each other since recent. And I think that's total bullshit. And, I know Israelis. I know a lot of Israelis that are opposed to what's gone on. They're opposed to what happened in Gaza. But the problem with the government in Israel is they can be run on the minority because they work in a parliamentary system, and the minority can be the ruling class. And that's what's happening. And people ought to get off this crap that it's, somehow the Jews are at fault, because that's total bullshit. So, I think Netanyahu, yes, I think he tried to get Trump to go along. And it was easy for him to get Trump to go along because Trump wanted to look good. He wanted to look good, not amongst the Jewish people, but about the evangelicals. Because they wanted to have, Revelations to have its day and be recognized by the prophecy. Think about it. He wasn't doing it for the Jewish people. He's such a farce that when he first was running the first time, and Ivanka was pregnant, he came out and said, "Oh, my daughter's going to deliver my first Jewish grandchild." Like he really gives a shit. He was trying to play up to the Jewish people. And I thought, you son of a bitch. That was, it's reminiscent of the people in the South go, some of my best friends are black. It's the same thing. His anti-Semitism is the same as racism in the Southeast. And that's what we got. We got a scumbag in the White House that needs to be removed. He's using the presidency to go after people. Who else is he going to go after? I mean, and I guess his list is innumerable. Do you need to put it on?
No, go ahead.
So that's a lot of what's been going on. And we the people are responsible. The other thing that I want to address too, it's not far afield from what I've been talking about, is actually the upcoming California elections for governor. And the one thing that we cannot afford to have in office as governor, or probably in any position, are the Republicans. You've got a guy by the name of Steve Hilton, who was a commentator on Fox. Oh, that's really good. Fox Network.
What is happening?
Fox Network should be banned from the radio waves or TV. But what's happening is Steve Hilton is a Trump follower. And all we're going to get from him or the other guy, Bianco, is more of the same of Trump. They support Trump, and they're going to, if you think the ICE has been a problem in California, you've seen nothing yet. It's going to be a real problem. Also, the other thing that's not considered, I want people to realize, because of the big, ugly friggin' bill that Trump signed, and it will have the impact on health care, not just throughout the country, but also in California. They're going to turn around and they're going to affect our health care more than you realize. There's a lot of people who have family members, whether it be parents, grandparents, disabled children, vets, on a program in California known as IHSS. And IHSS is in-home support services. And rather than have the state pay for institutions and facilities to give care to these people that need it, they're able to keep them in their homes where their loved ones are able to provide for them. And they're remunerated, but not even close to what they'd have to pay if these facilities or institutions were charging the state. They'd be paying 5 times as much as in the state. So what they're doing is they're saving the state a lot of money with this program. But when Medicaid is affected, it affects Medi-Cal. And when it affects Medi-Cal, it affects IHSS programs and other programs as well. We can't allow to have somebody like Steve Hilton or Bianco as governors, because those programs will go away. And the thing that people need to realize, although you are not directly affected, your neighbors will be affected. They're going to have a family member that's going to be affected. There also is what's going to happen if you're a younger individual and you're starting to get your life together and you got a job and you're going to start making your path in life, and your parents lose their IHSS benefits. They lose Medi-Cal for their health care. They lose Medicare. Are they going to wind up on the street, or are their children or grandchildren going to take them in and try to take care of them? And when that pressure is put on them, what's going to happen to them? All of them could be homeless. Ronald Reagan caused the homeless problem in California when he was governor. Well, we ain't seen nothing yet. We're going to have a real homeless problem. We need to support these programs. We can't allow a Republican to get into office, let alone a Republican that supports the Trump programs, if you want to call them programs. So I'm urging people, I believe, for me, Tom Steyer's the right guy. I went to a town hall meeting that had Tom Steyer addressing. And people want to use the thing, oh, well, he's a billionaire. You know what? Using that against him would be like using Trump and using him as an example to Christians. Same thing. You're going to hold that against Christians because of the things Trump does and says? The thing is that people don't realize is Tom Steyer has taken a lot of his money and has put it to some good use. Then the people want to say, oh, well, he made a lot of money from the utilities. He invested, but then he divested himself of that. You know, when we're younger, a lot of times we make decisions that we realize at some point aren't really beneficial to us or others. And that's what happened with Tom. He realized that and he pulled his money out. They want to hold it against him that because he invested in one private prison, and when he realized that wasn't for the betterment of the people, he pulled his money out and put his money into equal justice. So he's doing the right things, and he wants to go after the people that are responsible, corporations and the wealthy who haven't been paying their fair share. So why shouldn't they pay their fair share? It's time. It's time to get back to basics. Back in the 50s when Eisenhower was president, the wealthy people, the wealthy class was paying in the area of 90% in taxes, and they never suffered. But the problem has happened that has gone on over the years, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse, is the greed. The greed of the wealthy class people. They can't get enough. They're addicted to money. It's time to take their addiction and get them off of it. You know, I heard this one guy that's running for mayor of Los Angeles, this guy Pratt. This guy's a nutcase. He's a nutcase, and yet there are people that are going to vote for him. So people need to stop. They need to take stock. They need to look at people that are running, and don't vote for a guy because he's trying to buck the system. That's not going to make him, good as a governor. It's not going to be good as a mayor, as an assemblyman, as a senator. Don't go by the fact that they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Look at their track record. Pay attention. That's where I'm at. What do you have to say, Casey?
Well, I don't like the fact that Trump's been rolling back restrictions on glyphosate and made Monsanto immunity against lawsuits and wants to increase the production of glyphosate so they can put it in our forests. He's approved like 5 more forever chemicals that give you cancer, while cutting WIC fruit and vegetable funding by 70%, repealing bans on lead piping, fewer restrictions on arsenic and mercury, so they're going to blow more mercury into the air. Then these meta centers are polluting the water. They're lifting up restrictions on endangered species, cutting down the forests, selling the forest public lands to developers. I don't see how any of these things are good. While stripping 10 million people away from health care. And we're like, yay, we love Trump. He's doing such good things for the people.
He's
not doing nothing for the people. He's
trying to kill us
himself, and he's killing us. But poisoning our food, poisoning our air, poisoning our water, poisoning our land,
taking away vaccines,
cutting down our trees,
taking away vaccines,
and this is all good. Like, how is this good?
He told us.
What do we say, Larry? Wake up, people.
Right. And he told us that he wanted to do away with the EPA. And that's what he's doing.
And they were going to make America healthy again, remember?
He's neutering.
Where was that? Where is that?
He's neutering the EPA so they're ineffective and have no strength, no power. And they can't enforce anything because there's be nothing to enforce when he gets done. And what about RFK Jr.?
Well, he won like $280 million for one of his clients against Monsanto, and now he's like, "Oh, it's okay if Trump approves Monsanto's glyphosate, even though he sued Monsanto and won."
But listen, Casey, think about this.
He knows Monsanto and glyphosates are bad.
Of course.
He doesn't eat them
He doesn't
himself.
care. He's not going to be around to be affected by it. But our children and grandchildren will. And you know what else? He turned around, and people would wake up and realize that this bastard will do anything for a buck in his pocket, because he told the petrol companies that if they gave him $1 billion when he was running this last election, that they would have a friend in the White House. And that's exactly what he's done.
Well, the ships were sitting off the coast waiting for the prices to go up on gasoline, too.
Well, it's not a shock.
They were waiting for the prices to go up on gasoline because they made billions off of the increase in gas prices.
And what does Tom Steyer want to do? He wants to charge a windfall tax on all the petrol companies as governor in the state of California. So I voted for him, and I continue to back him.
I don't know if taxing gas companies is in anybody's interest.
It is in a windfall tax. In other words, they're going to be taxed on that.
We already get enough taxes on gas.
It's not us. They won't be allowed to pass that on to the consumer. It's a windfall tax.
I don't know what that means.
That means they were going to be taxed on the additional profits they will be making. Over and above what they would have been making.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're not allowed to pass those charges on to the public. Okay?
Well, that's good.
I'm voting. I voted for Tom Steyer. My daughters voted for Tom Steyer, and I hope everybody else does.
I don't think he's leading the pack.
It doesn't matter. Look,
it matters to me
I'll tell you what.
because I'm not going to let a Republican win.
Well,
I'm allowed to have my
look.
opinion.
Let me tell you something.
I love the fact that he supports UDW. I'm so happy that he's getting UDW support, and I appreciate UDW signing on with him. I think he's a great guy, but I'm not going to put my vote at risk because he's not leading the pack.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And we can argue this to this,
of course,
but we'll see in the end.
Of course,
who's gonna be the winner, and I don't think it's gonna be him.
Well, I don't think Bianco is going to make it to third place.
I hope not. God
He's not going to make.
I hope not.
He won't.
We
make
just got
it to
too
third.
many Democrats. And if there was only Tom Steyer and Becerra, if they were the only ones running, I'd vote for Tom Steyer, right, in a heartbeat. But because we have 4, 5, 6 other Democrats in there and 2 Republicans,
Now that's the other thing.
we're in big trouble.
Well, that's the problem.
That's why I'm only going to vote for who I think is leading the pack.
Well, that's the problem with the Democratic Party.
It's
They're willing to put up with that BS.
And the Democrats have let us down. They let me down because I thought I would be door knocking by now by somebody they endorsed, right? And then Swalwell let us down by whatever rape shit he had going on. So, I mean...
Well, the Democratic... it's not just... We look at the party and people make up the party.
Yeah.
But the Democratic organizations, okay, the DNC and the national committees and all that, that's where the problem lies. And I don't want, the one thing I don't want to do is focus on that too much. And the reason is because we beat up our own. We eat our own. I'm not a Democrat, but I lean Democrat, obviously. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the Democrats tend to eat their own. They try to do the right thing, whereas the Republican Party doesn't give a shit about doing the right thing. When they have a corrupt person in office, they don't boot him out.
It doesn't matter if he's a child sex trafficker. We still love him.
Exactly. I mean, it's the whole gambit. It's the whole gambit. And when somebody is a misogynist in the Republican Party and they have violated one of their staffers or a woman or what have you, they don't tell them to get the hell out. They keep him in office. I remember one of the he was from Louisiana. He was a congressman, and he was on the Madams list in Washington, D.C. Madam, do you remember that? There was a prostitution ring, and he was one of the customers, and he had this like fetish, and it was like he wore diapers. It was one of his strange sexual fetishes. And his name was Vitter. Tom Vitter. From Louisiana. He was a congressman. They didn't boot his ass out. No. He ran for senator and became a senator. He's not there now. But that shows you how accepting they are towards people that have either no morals or very little morals. And yet they're the first ones to stand up and throw poison darts at somebody in the Democratic Party for far less.
Yeah, like Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh, geez, that was
oh my God.
The world was going to come to an end. And Hunter Biden accepted money from the Chinese. You know what? That was bullshit.
What about the $300 million that
no,
Kushner or whatever?
$300 million? No, $3 billion.
Was it 300? $3
billion? $3 billion. First he got $2 billion.
No. I'm talking about just recently. For his data, it's some sort of data company he's opening
That's
up.
That's $3 billion from the Saudis or something.
No. I'm not talking about that one. This new one that he got from the Pentagon. Trump's sons just got a loan for a new business at the Pentagon.
It's not Jared Kushner.
It's
his
the other
sons. It's
Yeah.
Eric and Don Jr.
Eric and Don Jr. just what was it, $300 million?
Yeah, because they got a
From
contract from the
The
Pentagon.
biggest loan.
What a bunch
that
of crap.
the Pentagon's ever gave anybody, and they don't have any experience.
Yeah, and guaranteed they don't have nothing to give either.
They don't have any experience in data
and
management
this is,
or whatever.
and
it is.
I want people that might be listening to this to realize this is your money.
Yeah.
This is your money. The $1 billion that Trump wants to build that stupid piece of crap ballroom that he claimed was going to be paid by donors. That's your money. What happened? He's a liar. I didn't believe him when he first said that it was donors. I didn't believe him because I don't believe a word that he ever says. No. He opens his mouth and he's lying. And what about the other $1.776 billion for that so-called fund that he was trying to create that he can give to those people that attacked the Capitol
Oh, the
during January 6th.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
so
is
he can pull off another insurrection, and then they can.
let me tell you something,
Yeah.
and there's money in it from him. Every time there's money involved, you can bet that he's getting some grift somewhere.
Yeah.
He's getting money out of it. It's not about giving it to these other people. He's got self-interest. He's greedy. He's got an addiction to money, and he'll do anything for money. This guy turns around and he talks about
If we would have investigated all the money laundering that he done in his first term, we probably wouldn't have been here today.
no, he'd been up on charges and in
Because
prison.
he laundered money from the Turkish government for laundering money for Iran.
Hungary.
They excused them for some bribes. They were selling pardons for $2 million, $2 million
What
apiece
about-
for the last 3 days of his last term.
What about
Like,
the $20 billion that we gave of our money to Argentina to
Yeah.
bail them out?
Yeah, for an election.
What a bunch of bullshit.
That was for an election. It
Why
wasn't
do
even
I
to bail them out.
Why
It's-
do I care about Argentina? That country has been a failed country over the years. Do you remember?
But for us to get to this point, it had to have been bad in the last term too.
do you remember Evita Peron?
No.
Evita Peron was the wife of the president of Argentina several years ago. I'd have to look up the date. But she also was corrupt. And they did a whole, who's it that's saying, I think it was Madonna did it. She played a part in a production called Evita. And it all had to do with Argentina again. That's been a failed institution, a failed country over and over again. And
Well, he'll literally poison the people of America for money.
oh, of course he would.
You don't think Monsanto gave him like $6 million for his presidential election? Surely that he got
Of
more than that.
course, come
he got
on,
a
we
lot
have
more
to
than
be-
that because they were getting sued for billions of dollars.
Every time, that's another thing. He wanted with this new act. He wants to have it where the Treasury cannot audit him any longer for life,
Oh, yeah.
or his kids.
Oh, because he knows he's in trouble.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then you sue your own Justice Department.
Yeah, this bullshit.
Oh, because they and your own
And you want us to go to
the FBI or not the FBI, the IRS, because they released your tax funds
What
that
a-
you said you were gonna do.
Yeah. You know, all this stuff. I mean, this guy with the he's so afraid right now. But like I've said, everybody needs to wake up.
Didn't somebody just try to shoot him again yesterday?
Yeah. Well, they didn't try to shoot him per se. You know, that's like saying that the guy that went to the
Dinner party.
yeah, what was the dinner party? It was what was the name of it? The
I forgot.
anyway, for the journalists. And that guy he didn't even storm the room. He didn't get that far. And they're trying to say he was going to try to kill the president. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to be. He's going to get off those charges because he never made an attempt to kill the president. He made an attempt to storm the room with 2 weapons: a shotgun, which you can only get so many people with a shotgun, and a knife. That was it. So and you know, you talk about this Blanche, the acting Department of Justice, this head of Department of Justice, and he's only acting because Pam Bondi's not there. She was taken out, so he's acting in her position. He's not going to. I got news for you. The senators, the Republican senators, are so pissed at him right now. If he came up for a vote in the Senate for confirmation, he'd never get it. He'd never get it. So that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
We're a hot.
And you were talking about, Casey, you were talking about the water and how it's going to be affected. And if you look at these data centers and what they're doing to the water in those areas,
and the acid, what is it, sulfuric acid in there or something?
I'm not sure about that part of it. I'll take your word at it. But the that's why I personally am looking at having an atmospheric water generator installed in my home, so that I'll be able to generate my own water and not have to worry about water coming through the public system, through the municipalities. And I think everybody that hopefully will start to look at putting in their own atmospheric water generators, which will force the price of it down, so it'll make it more affordable, and we don't have to worry about it. That would be the same, if you think about it, as solar energy akin to the electric companies. Having your own atmospheric water generator in opposition of the municipal water companies. Right now, with electricity the way it's going, it's not going to be affordable for a lot of people. And yet, Trump doesn't want solar because regular electricity is powered by petrol, by oil. So anything that has to do with solar, he doesn't want. Anything that has to do with wind power, he doesn't want. Well, guess what? If the people continue to demand it, he can't stop it. That's one thing. The only way he could stop it is if it was outlawed, but there's no reason why it should be outlawed. What we need to do is outlaw the electric companies from charging people with solar for anything more than just being hooked up to them.
And get our electric credits back.
I don't even, to be honest with you.
They did away with that. Edison got away with doing away with that.
But if you have a backup battery system, you minimize all that. The problem becomes...
Backup battery systems are expensive.
Well, that's why we got to have more and more of them to drive the price down. Let me explain something, though, Casey. The problem is that people that do have solar and don't have a backup battery systems to operate their systems at night are on the grid at night.
Yeah, like me.
And you know what
I can't afford a backup battery system.
You know what I did?
Huh.
I not only have the backup battery system, and I'll tell you, the state of California pretty much paid for it.
They don't have that anymore.
No, well, they did.
But they don't have any credits anymore. Trump doesn't allow
Well,
credits.
first of all, the problem with the credits is that went against your taxes. Rebates don't. And the state of California was offering a rebate on the battery backup. I know because I got it.
Yeah, well, Trump has shortened their budget so much that they can't give us anything anymore.
But the point is, and then what I did, after I had the backup battery system, I also have a natural gas generator. So at night, I might flick that on for about 2 hours using gas, natural gas, and I get billed for that, but I'm not using electricity. None of it is electric. So I'm generating more power back into my batteries at night so that it'll carry me through into the next morning.
Charging them.
Yeah, when the sun comes up and then goes. So I'm only using it for about 2 hours a night.
That's cool.
So if people really pay attention and really do their homework, they can actually save money in the end. And I've done that. And it works.
So 17 hours ago, Trump claims peace deal with Iran largely negotiated with the Strait of Hormuz
I
open.
know.
And then 40 minutes ago,
He's a fucking liar.
Trump says he is in no rush for an Iran deal that is
It's because
far
he
from-
doesn't have one.
that is far from finished.
He's such a lying sack of shit. How many times has he said they're coming close to a deal? How many times have you heard that? So, there's they use an expression in the movie, what was the one with Al Pacino? Dog Day Afternoon. He said, kiss me. Kiss me. I like to get kissed while I'm being fucked. And that's exactly what he's doing to everybody. He's kissing everybody while they're being screwed.
He ain't kissing me.
Well, that's what he's doing, and watch what happens to the stock market. Oh, he's manipulated the stock market. He should be held up on that too, because that's
Yeah.
against the law.
I mean, poor Martha. Look at Martha barely did anything. She was
Yeah,
in
and she
prison.
went to jail.
Yeah.
Time for him to go to jail.
Trump should be in jail for infinity for this.
That was
shit
for
he's-
insider trading.
for the
And what are they?
insider trading he's been doing.
Yeah, but and his sons with that
All of them.
with the gambling.
Congress.
No, but the gambling that they've been doing on what's going to happen next.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forget the name of the gambling company, but his sons are involved. All of them. They're all a bunch of rotten bastards.
I wonder if everybody's really going to get their phone.
Oh, they supposedly started, but you know what? They're made in.
Supposedly, they only sent.
They're
it
made
to
in China.
They only sent the. That's why he went to China. That because China wouldn't give him his phones, probably. But
They're made. He said that they're going to be American
They only
made.
sent him to the media. They've only sent him to the media.
They're going to be American made. And even if they send them to people, it's a piece of crap phone. It's probably the lowest end of an Android you can get.
Yeah, it probably is. It's like
Of course.
like an Obama phone.
Yeah, I mean, how much should they pay? How much should they put down on the phone?
They probably paid like $25
Yeah,
and sold it for $500
yeah. And they had to put $100 down.
for over a year.
What a bunch of losers. And, that's like, it's the same thing like Tesla. That piece of crap, Elon Musk. And he was taking down payments on that stupid piece of shit truck that he's got. I put money down on one of those trucks, and then I asked for my money back. I got my money.
You did?
Yeah, I got my money back. That was a piece of shit truck. It's a failure. So he had so many of those trucks left over. What did they do with them? Do you know what they did with them? Sold them to the Pentagon.
Of course.
This is all such a grift. Everything in this country is a grift. And now these people that attacked the Capitol on January 6th, they want a piece of the action too. They want more of our hard-earned, tax-paying money. They want the taxpayers to give them money for the crimes that they committed. What kind of country are we living in?
When they pooped in the Capitol, broke all the windows, tried to attack people, yeah.
And they threatened the vice president.
Killed police officers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they deserve money.
Yeah,
They deserve
should
to be lynched.
Forgiven for that.
They should be hung. They're criminals, and not criminals of a minimal type criminal. They're criminals of the major type. They're the worst kind. They claim to be patriotic. They're not patriotic. If they were patriotic, they would go about the system and work the system
They're all
the way it
cheaters.
should be.
Cheaters.
Yeah. Thieves. And Trump, you know why he wants to give them money? So he's got his own private army. And I'll tell you something. I said that after January 6th, and the way he was talking about these so-called patriots, I knew what he was up to.
Well, that's why ICE is getting the most money, because he wants his own little army.
I wonder how many of those January 6ers are working for ICE.
A lot of them, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And how many of them were pedophiles?
How many warehouses are we putting up and putting 10,000 people in those warehouses and then only having 2 toilets and 2 sinks?
This is
and
disgusting.
Feeding them rotten food.
This is disgusting.
And
You know what?
we're not talking about this enough. This is for
Every-
sure. They're putting incinerators.
Yeah, like Auschwitz.
In those warehouses.
Like a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Every one of those Republicans or anybody that has supported those prisons, they need to be held up on charges
and feeding them rotten food.
That's inhumane.
145,000 U.S. children have been separated from their parents since Trump's ICE surge.
That's what I'm saying. These people, I want people to stop and think for one moment. Just think for a moment that it was you, that it was your children. How would just put yourself in their place, for God's sakes, and stop being so fucking stupid. You know,
This is how the Jews got abused like they did.
oh, of course, that's how it
Exactly.
started. Let me tell you something. When I was married, my ex-wife, she had an issue about Mexicans taking advantage of California and the hospitals and all that. You know, and at one point I was kind of like in the same place until I stopped and asked myself, honestly, if I was in their position, would I do anything different? You know what I said? No, I wouldn't. And that's what everybody needs to look at. Put yourself in somebody's position. This is not right. We're supposed to be above that in this country.
Well, you know, it's okay for this person to build your building, build your house, mow your lawn,
Pick your
put
food.
your roof on your house, mow your lawn, build America, and it pretty much. But they can't go to the doctor if they get hurt.
That's inhumane. Any
And
other
their
country.
family can't go to the doctor if they get hurt. Or, you know what I mean? So, but it's okay. I can work on your roof. But if I fall off,
Yeah,
just
we're
lay on the ground and die.
And it's like we can't afford it because we're the richest country in the world.
I mean, at least have clinics for them. Or
It's moronic.
Yeah.
It's moronic. Look what they've done to the Native Americans.
You can ask any immigrant, and they don't get free stuff. They do not.
They don't. You know, they
don't get-
the Republicans say they're getting Social Security.
They're trying to villainize them, and
Yeah,
they don't get anything.
they don't
free.
get
They don't get
social-
food stamps. They don't get. They're
not
free
entitled.
Stuff. I mean, sometimes maybe they'll get insurance. They used to get insurance.
They
but
probably have to pay for it.
they don't get it now.
And you know what? And the government wants to keep saying, you know, they get Social Security. No, they don't.
They pay more into Social Security than they ever get.
And they don't get anything back. They're supporting Social Security.
Yeah.
So all you people out there that seem to think somehow some lonely Mexican that is paying into the system is taking away from you, I got news for you. They're giving back to you. Because when you get Social Security, their income, their money, the taxes they're paying go towards that. And stop being so selfish and so stupid. Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, but, you know, going back to the 80s, I used to talk about how Americans were stupid. And you know what? They've only proven me right now. They've only proven me right. Because when I used to travel abroad, and I'd come back to the United States, and these people, these Americans, or not Americans, Americans, starting with an M, would say, this is the best country in the world. And I would ask them, well, where have you traveled? And say, I've been to Mexico, and I've been to Canada. That's the extent of their exposure to other countries around the world. You're going to use that as a way of evaluating it being the best country in the world? Well, I got news for you. I've been to Denmark. I've been to France. I've been to England. I've been to a lot of countries in the Southeast Asian area. And I'm going to admit that this is a great country. But you want to know what? Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best country.
Built by colonizers.
Yeah, of course.
By the death of
They
the
didn't
Native
do it on their
Americans and
own.
slaves.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We should be thanking all these people. And these assholes want reparations for January 6th. What about the Native Americans when we stole all their friggin' land?
Yep. My family was massacred.
Right.
So I have no family history because they had to hide.
Well, you got family history, but
They had to hide. They
But
didn't
your
even get
family
their
history
numbers.
ended at a certain point.
They didn't even get their numbers. They hid because they didn't want to go to Indian school. So
Oh,
the ones that weren't massacred, they hid.
That was 19th century crap.
They literally hid. My grandma,
Or 20th
my
century.
great grandma, she brought my granny here and and the kids.
But it went all the
And
way up to
they
Canada,
hid
too.
and
The
they pretended
Canadians.
like they're white. Oh, and the Canadians got it really bad too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm so
And-
tired of hearing how bad white people have it.
Mm-hmm.
What a bunch of crap. Oh, and Christianity's being attacked. Oh, really? So you're telling me that we can't celebrate Christmas anymore, and you want us to all say Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays? What a bunch of bullshit. When have I ever heard a Christian say to me, without knowing who I am, saying Happy Hanukkah? Huh? You don't. You never hear it.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't care about really hearing someone tell me Happy Hanukkah, but I also don't like hearing white people talk about how bad they have it and Christianity's being attacked. This is not a Christian nation. This nation was based on multitudes of religions. And not necessarily religions that have to do with the belief in one God, but other gods. So we're going to continue into next week, and I want to thank Casey. I want to thank Ron, and thank everybody that's out there listening, and we hope to have our other crew coming back soon. In the meantime, have a happy Memorial Day. Remember the fallen. Remember your family members that put up their lives to give us the democracy and freedoms that we have today, and don't fall for the bullshit of the people in power today. See you later.
Signing out.